Uru, Iboya, Ibuche, everybody in Cyberland. It's your favorite Babalao. At least I hope so. Omodu Modileke coming at you with another great podcast. You know, I've been a little sporadic on a podcast. Why? Because, I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram. But the podcast is the real talk. And I'm going to tell y'all something that, at the end of the day, a lot of people have asked me this question. And I find myself perplexed. But I think I found the solution today. And the question was, what makes Odileke? What makes my Odun so special? Right? And I can easily tell you that, my Odun, we talk about Odileke, Direbo, Choodi, Oiromoles before they became Orishas. And we begin to find ourselves in this predicament where Odileke has always been in the forefront of righteousness. And that's not to signify that I'm righteous, because I don't think that's the right answer. But it is to signify that nonetheless, I find myself in this crossroad, and I'm humbled to be here. As I drive to the cemetery to leave Oya her offerings from her feast day and to give thanks, I find myself almost in tears, because Ifa has blessed me. Without the guidance of Oya, without the guidance of Orumila, without the guidance of Awa Olofin, without the guidance of God Himself, but more particularly, we had to celebrate our spiritual double, our Igbe. I find myself in this almost predicament that my goal in life is not to obtain materialistic aspects of things. My goal in life is not to do anything else but be a force multiplier. Grab the followers of Ifa, grab the followers of Orisha worship, and guide them so that they can become also priests and priestesses, so that they can become great and they can also lead their community. I find myself in an ile that is scattered across the United States, is scattered across the world. I find myself guiding people, and I find that to be a mission. I find that to be very inspiring. But it's not because I have a lot of followers, but more of what is the impact that we can do for this faith. What is the impact that we can do for our communities? What is the impact that we can do to change this world? There's no mystery that our world lives in the constant aspect of chaos. We have war breaking out in every direction. We have people protesting in every direction. We have the death of many people. We have drugs. You have a lot of bad habits running around out there that don't allow people to fulfill their destiny. And I felt, really entitled, right, to speak my story. To tell people, hey, you know what? Maybe there's something else that we need to speak about. Maybe it's not just about, hey, let me tell you about this, let me tell you about that. Because although knowledge is important, I think experience is very important. I think it's important for us to kind of detail the aspects of the why. So this podcast was designed to give you Ifa and the why. And it's very interesting because right now I'm driving back from the cemetery. And let me just give you my story. I give Oya 9 plates, 9 different Adimuses. Right? I take down the offerings now because now it's been a couple of days and I'm trying to get myself right and give the proper honor to Oya. I grab one piece of each plate in order to take it to her sacred place at the gate of the cemetery. And I give, my adornment to my wife, and I leave and I drive out. And at that very moment, I would start to reflect like, wow, my story. A kid that grew up on welfare, homeless at one point. A person that grew up in the struggle in the streets. A person that was able to join the military and make it to the top 1% of the military. A person that was blessed to be married to a woman that is 100% dedicated to us and our future. One that complements my spirituality and my physical wealth, right? Because you marry someone that can complement you all around. And I'm blessed. But I begin to focus on the why. And I begin to look up to the sky at this late night. And I look and I see the stars. And I say, man, my Igbe, my spiritual double, has been working double time for me. The Orishas have blessed me. Ifa has blessed me. Through the teachings of Ifa, the wisdom of that Orisha, I've been able to succeed in life and take myself to different plateaus step by step. Every time I'm thinking that I'm plateauing, I get to another plateau, even higher. And I can only say that I'm thankful. I can only say that I'm grateful. I can only say that my successes are contributed to the Orishas, to Ifa, to the Eguns, because Igbe is my spiritual double. I give honor to the trifecta of Ifa, Orisha, and Egun worship. But more importantly, do you. So this podcast, again, Ifa and the why. Why do we do this? So I say this to say that why do people even try to become priests and priestesses? What is the purpose? What is the ulterior motive? If it's not to guide, if it's not to grow, then don't do it. Save your money. Waste it like every other human that wastes their time and efforts on this earth. I told this on a live with my spiritual house, my Ile. Right, we hold lives every month, right? Twice a month for some. And the concept was, are we wasting our time? Where are we going? How are we doing it? Priest and priestesshood is not for everybody. And we have to be able to understand where we're going and how we're getting there. This is not a badge of fame. This is not a, hey, this is going to make me look better, so therefore let me go become a priest and a priestess. Let me become a babalao for status. No. This is hard work. I tell a lot of people that I don't think they understand. I'm up by 5:30 in the morning. I give praise to Orumila. I give praise to Olodumare, the Orishas, and the Eguns. And at that very moment, I also begin my day at work, in my profession. Right? In my profession, it's not necessarily important. You know why? Because that right there begins to highlight and begins to violate some of the agreements that I have with certain, agencies in this world. And I can't necessarily just give out, what I work for and what I do. But for some of you who know me personally, you begin to understand, that's not public information. But I have 23 years of doing a job, moving up the ranks, getting to the top, marrying the woman of my dreams, and being blessed with a perfect circle of people, a perfect circle of spiritual children that look for guidance and have trusted me to guide them, trusted me to take them where I need to go. So I say, what is your why? Why do we do it? When I was taking my offering, I passed by a church. And for many of you who don't know, every spiritual house, it does not matter what is the denomination. This one typically, I think this one particularly was a Lutheran church. But it's Ile Olofin. Ile Awa Olofin. And we look at Awa Olofin in the diaspora, in the Lokumi diaspora, because that's a different topic for a different day. But even Nigeria is a diaspora, if you think about it. They didn't establish themselves until 1500 BCE. But the first spiritual and religious walks was 3000 BCE. So even they are a diaspora. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're not going to get into that controversy yet. But we will in another podcast. But I passed that house and I began to think about all the blessings that I received. And I began to think about my late father, who I know was looking down at me. Ibabe Enturun Sarafin Mende. And then I began to think about my late godfather, Ibabe Enturun Oshetura Miguel Alvarez Barrera. And I say, man, Ifa's real. Ifa walks with us. Ifa gives us all the tools that we need. And if we're able to walk ethically and morally, I promise you, there is nothing that's going to stop you. If you're able to honor the Orishas when you need to honor them, when you're able in your heart to understand where you're going and how you're going to get there, there will never be a situation that you cannot overcome. And you don't even have to do brujeria. You don't have to do any witchcraft at all. Heck, there is even a bosses that you should do. And I will promise you, if you walk at a certain righteous speed and a certain righteous mentality, you don't even have to do the bosses. Now, that's not for everybody. Obviously, it takes time to build yourself to that predicament, to that situation, which I would tell you is a lot easier than always sacrificing a rooster, a goat, a ram, etc. But what a beautiful feeling. As I travel to Oya, Ile Oya, the gates of the cemetery, to leave her offerings, I'm humbled. And I give thanks to Eshu. I give thanks to Elewa. I give thanks to Orumila, the Orishas, the Eguns, and more particularly, the divine, number one supreme being, Olodumare, God himself, for allowing me to wake up my Ori and allow me to guide. Odileke is a sign where Odileke had to do a both for all the Orishas, for all the Iramolis, in order to allow them to transcend to this earth and then become the Orishas after they pass. Odileke was charged with many different aspects in this world in order to work hard. Because with hard work comes the fruits of your labor. That's what Odileke stands for. That's the reason why I work hard. That's the reason why I wake up in the morning so early to give thanks. I go to work and I grind it out. And then I'm doing consultations in the evening. And I'm sacrificing time for family and friends. But I do it organized and I do it balanced, because I only do it Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Thursdays on exception. So I can spend Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with the family. But I give more time to God than I do with family and friends. But that's a relationship that I have with my inner circle, with my wife, right? With my job and everything else that I have going on in life. So then I ask you again, Ifa, and why? Why do you want to be a priest? Why do you want to be a priestess? Why do you want to receive your mano de orula? Are you ready to take on the challenges of organizing your life to a point where I promise you, you will be blessed? I promise you that you will get what you need. I will promise you that if you push hard and you work hard, the fruits of your labor will be seen. I'm telling you because I am the product of what that looks like. I'm not telling you this because it's something that I feel needs to be spoken, but be a hypocrite at the same time. No, I do it every day. But with that said, I wanted to share this aspects of Ifan. Why? What is that big why? What are you looking for? Where are you trying to guide yourself to? And many people, they feel they join the faith in order to gain position, to gain power, to gain different aspects of spirituality. Everybody's born with different gifts. Everybody's born to be something. Everybody's going to get to where they need to get to. But more importantly, it's important for us to understand what is our Odun. That's the reason why we receive Mano de Orula. What is the Odun? What's our strength? What's our weaknesses? So that we can understand the why and where we're going. Not everybody needs to be a priest and a priestess. But heck, you see people becoming babalaos and olorishas, right? And they get crowned and are santeros, santeras, whatever we want to call it. And for what? For status? No. That will never work out for you. More, it will put you on the crosshairs because you're not supposed to be there. Because you're doing it for the wrong reasons. But with that said, just want to kind of share my insights. I'm pulling into the house now, but I wanted to kind of share that with you. And with that, Iburu, Iboya, Ibucheche, Cyberland, much love to you. I hope you guys have a great night.